Concept Studios. This is Webcast 1 Live.
Get away from us, you mean old credit card. We don't have any more money. We're in trouble now. Save us! Help! Somebody save us! Somebody help! Help! Save us!
Hi, I'm Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of Des Moines. If your credit card's a little too animated, give us a call.
Hooray! We're saved! Consumer Credit! You're our hero!
If Tom Coates from Consumer Credit of America was your personal webmaster, Tom would filter out all bad debt emails. If Tom was your mailman, you'd never get any debt reduction junk mail. If Tom Coates was a lineman, he'd block any phone calls offering to reduce your credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America, and we're still your best choice for credit counseling. We're local, we're accountable, and we can do more. You make the call when the time's right for you.
When it comes to competition, there really is none for Consumer Credit of America.
Welcome back, everybody. We took the gloves off during the break because my hands were getting a little bit sweaty. I was clenching them a little too tight. This is why I chew my fingernails, Doc, is because when I ball my fists up, I don't want them slashed. I don't want my palms all cut up into pieces. But no, I mean there is never any perfect set. And I know how lame that sounds. I know how badly we want everything to always go our way 100% of the time. In this case, avoiding another regional war in the Middle East, getting a firm agreement once and for all from a country that has been kind of doing a two-step with us for 36 years at this point, opening up channels of negotiation that have not existed for 36 years. You can't, I don't understand how you can't be optimistic at the prospect of Iran coming back into the community of nations, of us easing up just a little bit to say, hey, Iran, if you kind of back off, we're going to let you come back. Not all the way, but just a little bit.
All right. Here's what I'm going to say to that. As recently as December, the Czech government put a block on Iran securing and obtaining nuclear materials, $61 million worth, in some secret deal. The Czech Republic said, no, that can't go through us. So they blocked that. They have been belligerent at every turn for the last 36 years. Belligerent every single time.
Yep.
What makes you think that they're going to be less belligerent now?
I don't know how to answer that question.
And therein lies the answer. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. In the early 2000s, Libya wasn't letting in the atomic inspectors. Iraq wasn't letting in the atomic inspectors. Iran wasn't letting in the atomic inspectors. Next thing you know, George Bush goes ripping right through Iraq, takes them out. Suddenly, Libya goes, we give up our nuclear ambitions. Gave them up, within months. And suddenly, Iran was letting in nuclear inspectors. After the dust settled over there and the Iranians started thinking, they have a lot on their plate over there. I wonder if we can still play a little game of what my buddies would call FF, right? They started doing this. Well, we're going to start restricting access to the atomic inspectors. They have resisted the IAEA inspections year after year after year, and there's nothing in this agreement that punishes them for anything, for denying them the ability, for denying the inspectors the ability to inspect the nuclear facilities in hidden bases and military bases. The problem is here, Obama is gambling his political future, and more importantly, the lives of the people that are going to be affected if Iran exports its terrorism in a nuclear fashion, with American lives, with European lives, with lives all across the way. Because why does Iran need ICBMs? Why do they need that? They don't, unless you're going to strap a nuclear warhead to the front of it. I mean, that's one of the reasons. I mean, honest to goodness, that's why why we feel safe dealing with Pakistan. They don't have the ability to hit us. They don't have the ability to hit except for regionally. And the problem is when you take a regional hegemon like Iran, and don't get me wrong, you can argue whether we created it or not, right? The bottom line is that's what they are. And there's nothing in this agreement that is going to prevent them from not going further in their belligerence. I mean, how do you respond to that?
Well, that you're just completely off base. Once again, 100%. The snapback provision for the sanctions are what brought them to the table in the first place.
Snapback.
It's immediate. It's immediate. They don't let a single inspector in. Sanctions are put back in place. They start enriching uranium beyond 3.67%. Sanctions put in place. Any violation of the agreement, sanctions are put back in place. It wasn't the Iraq war that brought Iran to the table because they thought that was great for them. We got rid of Saddam. They are now the regional power. They don't care about that. Sanctions brought them to they've been their economy has shrunk by 20%. They can't sell oil on the international market. They are dying under sanctions slowly over the last 10, 15 years. That's what brought them to the table. So to say that they're not afraid of sanctions, well, no, of course they are. But when you back a badger into its lair, it's going to start fighting back. If you try and put more sanctions on them, which we don't have the power to do, really, we're not a big trading partner with them. Because the minute we try and enact new sanctions or ramp them up somehow from the States, Vladimir Putin's going to say, come on, boys, come on over here. I'll help you out.
Well, now you just said two different things.
No, I did not.
You did. Hang on a second. Because you said, well, we've been able to shrink through sanctions 20%.
Because everybody's on board. Everybody was on board with it. If we try and ramp it up, the will in Europe is no longer with us at this point, universally across the board. Their sanctions regimes will erode because they want to do business with Iran. We don't care because we don't do as much business with them.
Well, then let me pose this question to you. North Korea, we have agreements with them. All the time, they're threatening to break whatever agreement we have whenever we go at loggerheads. What's to prevent Iran from doing the same thing? What's to prevent
Iran's not crazy. Not like North Korea. Iran's
so it's a different kind of crazy?
Well, you can talk about their leadership being intractable, and you can talk about them being religious zealots or whatever, but the population in Iran is not as repressed as that in North Korea. The country's not closed by any means. You call them a hegemony. I suppose they are to the extent that it's an Islamic state.
Well, it's a regional one.
Right. Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but to the extent that it's an Islamic state and that dominates the culture, the Iranian people are still a diverse, vibrant population of people that if they had to, which they tried to do with the Green Revolution, you saw how the state reacted to that, but it's still possible. That's not possible in North Korea. It's apples and oranges. Iran breaks the deal. The sanctions are put back in place. They'd be stymied again. They want to come back. You can tell by how they kept bringing us back to the table. If they didn't care, Doc, if their sole aim was simply to get a nuclear weapon, they would have walked away from any kind of deal years ago and just done it without it. They want a deal. They want to be a part of the international community. We're just, like we do with lots and lots of other countries, we're going to have to accept the fact that they are a state that we don't like very much. We didn't like Bosnia-Herzegovina that much. We've done business with them since the troubles kind of started to subside. Libya was it kind of blew up in our face a little bit, but we were trying with them. We used to be friends with Iraq. I mean, the United States does things with people we don't like all the time. This is no different.
Well, this is different because I don't ever recall Iraq swearing that they're going to wipe us off the face of the earth. I don't recall.
So, are we so insecure that that kind of threat makes us?
Well, this is kind of wishful thinking. If this is what the nuclear deal is like, I have my cell phone in this hand, and I say, hey, here you go. I would like you to reduce my sanctions, but in my back pocket or hanging behind me, I have a shotgun. And you say, well, we would like to reduce your use of shotguns. We would like to inspect you. No, you can't, but you can have my cell phone. I'll do that. Now, how trusting are you going to be? Where Obama says there's no trust here, so we're going to have to verify. The problem is there's no real way to verify what's going on. On that note, we're going to take a break. Blake's got all kinds of stuff. I can see it in his eyes. He's ready to fire it up. We'll be back after this break. We want to thank all of our sponsors, including Petrosa & Associates, LubinusLawFirm.com, Halo Capital, DesMoinesInterestRates.com, Des Moines Anesthesia PC. They do general anesthesia and pain management. They're at 515-574-6442. They have offices here in Des Moines and Fort Dodge. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to hit our website, DocandLefty.com. We'll be back right after this break.